attacks launched from the US to disarm terror. This is what
is defending its people and interests by responding to rocket attacks from terrorists in Lebanon. As part of the cessation of hostilities agreement, the government of Lebanon is responsible for disarming Hezbollah, and we expect the Lebanese armed forces to disarm these terrorists to prevent further hostilities. The reason that any attacks have happened is because terrorists launched rockets into Israel from Lebanon. That is a violation of the cessation of hostilities. It is a violation of the ceasefire when terrorist groups, when armed groups, shoot rockets into Israel.
Well, this statement comes after Israel's first strike on Beirut's southern suburbs since November's ceasefire agreement. Israel targeted a Hezbollah drone storage unit after 2 rockets were fired from southern Lebanon into northern Israel. One rocket was intercepted while the other failed to cross the border. Hezbollah did deny any involvement, but Israel called it a violation of the ceasefire. Lebanon's President Joseph Aoun condemned the strike. He called for international action to ensure Israel respects the decisions. Meanwhile, France, one of the mediators, also reacted.
Nous attendons d'avoir les rapports complets. À ce stade, en effet, nous n'avons pas eu d'informations signalant des frappes du Hezbollah et des activités militaires au sud. Et donc, les prochaines heures nous permettront de clarifier la totalité de ces points, mais à ce stade, je peux vous dire qu'il n'y avait pas d'activité qui justifiait des frappes.
Moving on, and US Vice President J.D. Vance has accused Denmark of failing to protect Greenland from increased threats from Russia and China. During a visit to a US military base in Greenland, Vance claimed that Denmark has underinvested in the security of the autonomous territory and its people. He suggested that the United States could provide better protection and security to Greenland, particularly in the face of aggressive actions from other nations. Vance added that the United States is ready to invest more resources into the region, including naval ships and military icebreakers. He emphasised the importance of the US leading in the Arctic, especially as countries like Russia and China show increasing interest in the area's strategic waterways and mineral resources. Let's listen in to what Vance had said to say.
Our message to Denmark is very simple. You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the people of Greenland, and you have underinvested in the security architecture of this incredible, beautiful landmass filled with incredible people. That has to change. We do not think that military force is ever going to be necessary.
As Vance's visit was underway, Trump spoke with reporters at the White House, saying that the US needs Greenland to ensure the peace of the entire world. He also stated that the United States needed to have Greenland. These comments came in the context of the rising influence of Russia and China in the region. Both Vance and partnership with the United States would be beneficial to Greenland, providing it with and economic opportunities. Vance made it clear that the US respects Greenland's sovereignty, but believes the territory would be safer and thrive more under US protection. Let's hear what Trump said.
We need Greenland, very importantly, for international security. We have to have Greenland. It's not a question of, do you think we can do without it? We can. If you look at Greenland right now, if you look at the waterways, you have Chinese and Russian ships all over the place. And we're not going to be able to do that. We're not relying on Denmark or anybody else to take care of that situation. And we're not talking about peace for the United States. We're talking about world peace. We're talking about international security. And right now, you look at it, you have warships all over the place going through right along Greenland. We're not going to let that happen. We cannot let that happen.
Well, staying in North America, and US Vice President J.D. Vance has said that demands for sackings over a security breach will be ignored. This comes after top national security officials added a journalist to a chat group discussing planned strikes on Yemen. Vance told reporters in Greenland, if you think you're going to force the president to fire anybody, you've got another thing coming. He made it clear that the administration is standing behind the entire national security team. Let's listen to those comments.
And if you think you're going to force the President of the United States to fire anybody, you've got another thing coming. President Trump has said it on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and I'm the Vice President saying it here on Friday. We are standing behind our entire national security team.
At least 7 people were injured, with 1 in Sana'a. This was after Yemen's Houthi rebels reported multiple US airstrikes targeting over 40 locations across Houthi-controlled areas, including the capital Sana'a. Many provinces were affected, such as Sada, Marib, Al-Jarf. The targets included civilian homes, shops and military sites, including Sana'a International Airport and the mountainous region of Amran, where military installations are located, according to local reports. The US military's Central Command has not officially confirmed the raids, though the White House now grants authority for such strikes without pre-approval. The new air campaign follows threats from the Houthis to target ships in the Red Sea after Israel blocked aid shipments to Gaza for nearly a month. The Houthis claim at least 57 casualties from the US airstrikes, escalating tensions in the region.
شنت طيران العدوان الأمريكي الإسرائيلي عدة غارات على ضواحي مدينة صعدة مما أدى إلى استشهاد وجرح بعض المواطنين. نقول للعدو الأمريكي بأن الضرب هذا لن يثنينا عن.
Donald Trump has warned that Iran will face severe consequences if it fails to reach a nuclear deal with the US, speaking in the Oval Office. Trump said he recently sent a letter to Iran urging them to make a decision on talks or face bad things happening to the country. Trump emphasised that while his preference is to resolve the situation through diplomacy, failure to do so could lead to serious consequences. Trump pulled the US out of the 2015 nuclear deal in 2018, but now says he is open to negotiations to prevent further military escalation. Iran has rejected direct talks under current conditions, but has expressed openness to indirect discussions. Trump's comments come after he revealed in March that he had sent a letter to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Despite his willingness for talks, the US has continued its maximum pressure strategy, imposing additional sanctions on Iran.
Iranian drones are attacking and killing Ukrainians every day. Why aren't you doing something about that?
Well, we're going to see what happens with that. I'm getting reports on that, and we're looking at a report. You're right. They make a lot of drones. Iran makes a lot of drones. They make very effective drones, too. They do very effectively at some things, but Iran is very high on my list of things to watch. And as you probably know, I sent them a letter just recently, and I said, you're going to have to make a decision one way or the other. And we're going to either have to talk and talk it out, or very bad things are going to happen. I don't want that to happen.
We have some breaking news coming in, and at least 8 Pakistani soldiers and a civilian have been killed in separate attacks near the Afghan border. According to police, the incidents occurred in the northwestern Khyber province, which borders Afghanistan. Terrorists ambushed a military convoy, killing several soldiers, while another attack targeted a civilian, resulting in their death. The attacks are believed to be linked to insurgent groups operating along the porous border. Pakistan has faced increased militant violence in recent months, with security forces intensifying operations to tackle cross-border terrorism. We head back to US President Donald Trump and new Canadian Prime Minister Mark